Hello, and welcome to this session on reputation management. Today, we're going to be asking the question, is your reputation fit for the long haul? My name is Regine le Roux. I'm the Managing Director of Reputation Matters, and I look forward to taking you through this session. I'm going to start off by asking you, how fit is your reputation? You might be thinking to yourself, what on earth does health and fitness have anything to do with the company's reputation? Well, at Reputation Matters, we like to compare your health and physical fitness to the health and the robustness of your company's reputation. If you think of it, you need good health to get you through life, and you need a really good reputation to support and get you through your company's journey. Why do we say that? So, first of all, when you are fit and healthy, you look and you feel great. Isn't it wonderful when you can fit into that pair of jeans that you've been struggling to get in for a while? Your energy levels are better and your outlook on life is generally a lot more positive. To get fit and to get healthy needs flexibility. You need to have a balanced diet, balanced exercise. It doesn't help just going to the gym and just doing leg exercises or just arm exercises. You have to cross train to be able to maximize your fitness levels. Similarly, with your reputation, when you have a good reputation, a good healthy reputation, you will find that people will want to be associated with your brand. They will be willing to spend their hard-earned cash on your specific product or service to be associated with the brand, to what you have to offer. But you'll also find, as I mentioned earlier, to get fit, you have to cross-train. You do have to look at all the various aspects of your business. You do need to have a look at all the various building blocks within the organization. It doesn't help just to concentrate on one area of the business. You have to look at all areas to build a healthy, fit reputation. So just on that, we actually have a really good video session on the building blocks for a reputation. So if you'd like more information on that, do pop me an email. You can send it to research@reputationmatters.co.za, and I'll happily share more information on the different reputation management building blocks. But for now, we're continuing with the fitness and the fitness of your health and the fitness of your reputation. So again, why is it important? Being healthy protects you from injury. So the fitter you are, the faster you'll be able to recuperate from injury or illness. I'm not saying that you won't ever get hurt or sick, but we do know that the healthier you are, the quicker you will recuperate, and the recovery time is generally shorter. The same with your reputation. The healthier your company's reputation is, the more likely it is going to be there, the more likely it will protect you during a crisis situation. You can't only start thinking about getting healthy when you are sick or injured. And the same goes with your reputation. You can't only start thinking about your reputation when there's a crisis that needs to be managed. We've all seen it, and we see it so often. A company only starts thinking or worrying about their reputation when there's a crisis. You should be proactive when it comes to your reputation. You need to put in the work to be able to have a really, really robust and healthy reputation. If you've put in the work, be it in your own fitness or looking after your company's reputation, you are safeguarding and equipping yourself from serious injuries and major damage during a crisis. The next item, there's no quick fix. There's no quick fix. If you want to run that marathon or finish your first cycling race, or in fact any cycling race, you need to put in the practice. No magic potion will get you fit. You need to spend time in the saddle. You need to get kilometers on your legs. You need to cross train to be able to get fit. You need to also be consistent in your training habits. It's all about discipline. The things that we know we need to do are often neglected. And then we wonder, how on earth did I manage to get so unfit so quickly? Where did those extra kilograms come from? There's also no quick fix to building your reputation, especially during a crisis. I once had a scenario many moons ago. I was approached by a company who were in the media for all the wrong reasons. Their reputation was in absolute tatters. They asked for my advice and in the same breath said that they have a marketing budget available to deal with the situation. Unfortunately, there were so many issues at play: lack of values, questionable leadership, non-existent corporate governance. The list continues. It's as long as my arm. There are no amount of marketing budget would have been able to fix their predicament. They would need to restructure the whole board of directors, introduce ethics as a non-negotiable core value throughout the organization, and take a long, hard look inside the mirror and before doing any type of external communication. It's very often we hear that there's always budget for marketing, but companies very rarely want to take that look inside, and that's really where your reputation also starts. So there is no quick fix. You need to put in the work, and from experience we know that it usually starts internally first. And also just that consistency. We like to say a reputation is built on consistency. You either are consistently good or consistently bad, but either way you are building a reputation for yourself. So it really is key to make sure that you are disciplined with your habits, that you do put in the work. The next comparison, and why we say that the health of your health and fitness is linked to the health and fitness of a reputation. Measurement is key. You need to measure your progress. Now, if you're anything like me, trying to get fitter and have an exercise plan in place, I like to measure absolutely everything. And as you know, as you get fitter, you invest in the right equipment, get the right shoes, get the right equipment, as I've mentioned, download an app or two, and you start looking at the numbers and you start tracking your progress and you push yourself to go slightly further and slightly faster. And you work on the numbers, be it kilograms or kilometers. You track your progress because you want to know that you're doing better. And you want to get it's very motivating to see how you are progressing. It's just as important to measure your reputation. What is the current perception of your organization by your different stakeholders? Different things will be important to different people. Knowing your reputation score will definitely strengthen your position around the boardroom table and help you to come up with solutions to take your reputation to the next level. Tracking your reputation year on year will ensure that you stay on top of it and track the organization's progress. And what's really key to just mention here with the measurement side of things, very often people think or assume that reputation management is about online reputation. It's about what's being said on social media, which it is to a certain extent. But it's actually so much more than that. It's also understanding the perceptions of all your different stakeholders, taking a look at all your channels of communication. What are those messages being sent out? What are the important factors for each of those different stakeholder groups? And being able to quantify, to be able to put a percentage to that relationship with each of the different stakeholder groups and being able to present that. So that really is a very key aspect for when it comes to measuring your reputation. So we love to say, if you treasure it, you will measure it. And if you just think of it, you treasure your health, you treasure getting fitter, and you measure it. The same with the reputation. You treasure it because it is going to determine whether the longevity, the sustainability of your organization. So we have a fun, quick survey at this specific link, and there's a QR code if you want to follow it and just answer it. It's just a very short questionnaire with a few fun questions to give you an idea of what your organization's reputation is. Obviously, it's not particularly scientific. Please contact us for a more in-depth view that we can provide you with when it comes to measuring the reputation of your organization. Pop us an email at research@reputationmatters.co.za. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to help you as well. So where to start? So as I mentioned earlier, check out our webinar and our video on Your Reputation Matters. Again, pop us an email, research@reputationmatters.co.za, and we'll gladly share more information on it. There's 4 C's. So where do we start? So there's 4 C's that we use as a very basic, because very often, the truth of it is reputation is such a massive topic. There's so many components to it, and it can be quite overwhelming. It's quite daunting. Where do you start? So we've narrowed it down to these 4 specific areas. So first of all, core values. If we have a look at an organization's core values, can you fluently say what are the core values of your organization? What are your company's core values? Are these values something that everyone in the organization can speak about fluently? Are the decisions that you make as a company based on these values? So at Reputation Matters, we have very clear values in place. Excellence always in all ways, which is driven by growth, respect, and authenticity. And during each of our weekly team meetings, every team member gets an opportunity to share a story, an engagement, a interaction, or something that they've read that either resonated or didn't resonate with the organization's values. In this way, it wasn't just randomly picked keywords that looks lovely on a website and that we dreamt up once at a strategy session, but in this way, it actually forms part of our DNA when it comes to decisions that we make, when it comes to people that we get on board, making decisions on suppliers, the things that we say, how we say things. It just really drives us as an organization to have those values in place. So do you have values in place that you share with each other? And how do you share those values with each other? I'd love to hear how you go about sharing the core values within your organization, as well as externally with your different stakeholders that you engage with. The second step, contribution. So what do I mean by contribution? What is it that your organization does? How is it contributing to the economy, to the community and environment in which it functions? What is the unique selling proposition? Now, I know the unique selling proposition, or the USP, is very much marketing related, marketing term, but it is actually a very important term for the purpose of this discussion. Are you able to succinctly communicate what it is that your organization does in 8 words? So I'll give you a chance if you want to just quickly try and jot down the 8 words that what is it that your organization does? What sets your organization apart? Now, if I were to ask you, the newest person on your team, what would their 8 words sound like? What do the 8 words of the person that's been on the team the longest sound like? Do all of the 8 words shared between the 3 of you sound remotely the same? This is the golden thread. This is the information that is currently being communicated internally. More importantly, this is what people are communicating to family and friends in terms of what they do. And people are much more likely to listen to friends and family than looking at a fancy billboard or fancy advertising. So it's really, really key to get this crux of a message in place in terms of what it is that we do as an organization in place. And that then forms part of what needs to be communicated internally and externally. Out of interest, I went through quite an interesting exercise a number of years back with a team. I asked them to send me a voice note of what it is that we do. And everybody's 8 words were very, very different. And it was an eye-opener because I did realize that everybody wasn't as much on the same page as I had hoped everybody would be. But now we have at each strategy session, again, that's something that we make sure that we are comfortable with the words. It's something that's fluent, that everybody knows what it is that is our unique selling proposition, which incidentally is to be Africa's go-to reputation specialists to build businesses that people want to build. Africa's go-to reputation specialists building businesses that people want to do business with. So yeah, it's a few more than 8 words, but that is our core vision, that is our unique selling proposition, and that is what we strive to do. So the next item that we have a look at is the communication. So communication. It does not help to be the best kept secret. Communication is key to building your reputation. Do you have a clear communication strategy in place to engage with all of your stakeholders? Are your messages, the channels of communication you'll be using, the frequency, feedback channels, all of that in place? So do you first of all know who your stakeholders are? Do you know what the most appropriate channel of communication will be? Do you know what it is that you want to communicate to them? How often do you want to communicate to them? And then do you have measures in place to get feedback from them, or to make sure that whatever you've communicated does change behavior, does require specific action, that it's actually being taken up and being responded to? So that's really, really key. And part of that is, do you have a communication policy in place? Who communicates what to whom? What's the line of communication? And does it include social media protocols? Then fourthly, the fourth one, I've put in here count. And I've mentioned this previously earlier in the session, but it just is such an important part, is to keep track of the numbers. Measuring your reputation and the relationship that you have with your different stakeholders will help you to build even closer relationships with your different stakeholders. It will also help you to speak the language of the C-suite. And just to clarify what I mean by C-suite, this is tongue-in-cheek, but basically the suite where you will find the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the CIO, anybody with a C sits in the suite. And we have found, more often than not, this suite functions in numbers. If you were to tell them that we needed to do a specific media release or a campaign or a communications campaign, it doesn't have the gravitas it would have if you were to communicate in numbers. So being able to put a measure to a reputation really underlines and really supports specific communication initiatives so much more when it comes to being able to speak the language of the C-suite. And yes, that brings us to the end of the session. If you need some help to get reputation fit, please contact us, pop us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is research@reputationmatters.co.za. You can also find us on Facebook, and where our handle is Your Reputation Matters, and you can also find us on Twitter. Reputation is key. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful day.